Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Reflection, a joint program between Cambodia ASEAN International Institute and ThmeyThmey.com. Today, I'm very pleased to moderate the discussion on the topics plastic education. And I would like to introduce myself a little bit more. I'm currently a Deputy Editor-in-Chief in charge of the National News at ThmeyThmey Media. And it is a great pleasure to have two important speakers joining us today. First speaker is Sotheavann Chhoeng. Sotheavann Chhoeng currently is awareness racing trainer at Fauna and Flora International Cambodia. And second speaker we have son Dara. Dara is a leader of garbage use, and he has been doing his work in raising plastic awareness and a lot of environmental activity currently. And before we begin our discussion, please allow me to have a brief introduction on our topic today, plastic education. And actually, plastic issue has become a very pressing challenge and also a great concern for everyone in Cambodia, but not only in Cambodia, I can say all around the world. As we can see, amounts of plastics has been reported to have increased over the past year, and as the country is developing so fast, and a lot of people still consume more plastics every day. And plastic waste are dumped on the street, and anywhere in the city like Phnom Penh, or even in other city, tourism city like Sihanoukville or in Siem Reap. So we can see this is the most concerning issue for all of us. According to Acra Foundation, around 10 million plastic bags are used in Phnom Penh every day. That's a huge amount. And in urban area, Cambodian use more than 2,000 plastic bags every year. We should know that plastic waste mainly enter our environment when it poorly managed. And we can say in our country, the management of plastic still remain an issue. And it can be enter into environment through the open dumping and open burning and disposal in the waterway, like some people throwing in the waterway and also in the sea. And therefore, it is a high time for all of us to think about it and how we can come up with an idea. How can we try to reduce the amount of plastic, or how can we create a plastic-free society in the future? But I think it's the most important thing to do, but the most challenging for all of us. But if we come to work together, maybe we can do it. That's why we are here today with two important speakers. We are here to discuss how can we increase the awareness raising activity on plastic use, and also how we can put it in education. How can we have young people, and also how can we have children to learn to combat against plastic. Okay, I think that's all my brief introduction, so we can begin our discussion now. Thank our speaker for staying calm, waiting for my introduction. So let me jump to question. I think I have a very basic question. So Sotheavann, because you have been working as a awareness raising trainer, so I think you might have seen a lot of issues in our society, not only in Phnom Penh, but maybe in the other part of the country. So what do you think of the current situation of plastic issue in Cambodia?
Thank you for having me today. I feel honored to be the panelist for the discussions and answer to your questions. I'm afraid I'm telling you the very bad news, because according to the research, in late 2018, there is a research in coastal community which conducted by Fauna and Flora International with working with local partner and also the university students. And the purpose of the research, we would like to get a better understanding what the situation of the marine plastic pollutions in Sihanoukville province and Kosdat island, which located in Kokong province. So our initial finding, we found that the 80% of the coastal debris is plastic. And also the 48% of the plastic waste is discarded into the oceans, and the 41% of the plastic waste is burned. And the most concerned information from Agra found that on average there is 12 plastic bags is used per day and per household. So let's imagine how many households in Cambodia totally. So it's quite concerned with a lot about this information. And come to this point, I also would like to suggest, it's not time for suggestion yet, but because I'm afraid I will forget at the end of the program, so I would like to suggest and encourage to the academic as well as the independent researcher should focus more on the plastic survey, because it's important to have the accurate and up-to-date data in order to have the government as well as the policy maker in to take on this issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cambodians now use 10 million plastics, right? 10 million plastics nowadays, as you mentioned above. So almost local business in Cambodia use styrofoam, plastic bag, and many more related to plastics. Another factors about which contribute to like never-ending use plastic is the cheapness of the product. Plastic is very cheap, cheap more than other product. So this is make our day life more comfortable, but in danger. Yeah.
Maybe we talk about the problem. We talk about what we have found, the huge number of people using plastic bags each day. So Dara, can you tell us a little bit what is the impacts of plastic on environment or on the health of everyone?
Thank you for the question. First, we have to know how plastics are made. Plastics are made from gas, salts, coal, and other chemical substances. So for so many cases related to plastic waste and the impacts of plastic pollution. For example, one case, it's just like our daily life, drinking a plastic, using a plastic cup of coffee, and we drink it into our body. So this plastics cause inflammation, which is damage to our immune system, allow the toxin enter our body. So it can lead to the cancer. Yeah, so it's very important to understand what we use today is very impacts to our health.
Sotheavann, I think there's a report that in the upcoming years, maybe by 2040, our ocean will have more plastic than fish. So this is the most, sad news for all of us. So my question, what is your take on this prediction?
So as the result of the finding right now, even though we conducted at a small area, just 2 areas, but it's still the bad news for us that the marine plastic pollution is quite in the very bad conditions right now. And as I said earlier, that 48% of the plastic waste is discarded into the sea. So imagine, marine is very important because biodiversity, we need fish, and also the oxygen, it produces many things. So if the marine is damaged by the plastic, it's going to be the problem. And also I want to raise about the sea turtle. Sea turtle is the kind of the endangered species that it was protected by fishery law, but still recently we found that the sea turtle was found dead with the full of the plastic bag in stomach. So because the plastic bag is mistakenly by the sea turtle like a jellyfish, so they eat and they dead with the plastic. So it's the very sad news.
That's sad news, I think. Okay, back to Dara again. You lead your group to collect the garbage in the sewage, and I think you want praise from all the publics. But my question to you, how do you see the current behavior of our people, particularly people in the urban area, in terms of using plastic?
In our country, it's just like Cambodia is one of the country that using plastics. Yeah, so there's a lot of plastics. When I collect the the garbage. I saw a lot of plastics bottle, and plastic bags and styrofoams. Yes, there's a lot. So I think that most of the restaurant, most of the business is use a lot of plastics nowadays, and we can see a lot along the street. This is our worry related to the environment. I have one sentence. Look like it just can remind you that environment doesn't need us, but we need the environment in order to survive. But people don't care about the plastics along the way. It can burn by the sunlight, and it can burn by somebody or a factory. So as you can see, the smoke will be emitted to the sky and you breathe it into your body. So what's happened, you can imagine of your health. So everyone or somebody die for don't understand the reason why. Anyone who get cancer and don't know the reason too. So I can tell you the reason of kinds of this to make us get ill or get sick. Yes, by the environment nowadays is very bad. Yeah, thank you.
So, okay, you want something to add? Okay, yeah.
Can I add a little bit on this? From my perspective, I feel like when talking about the plastics, most of the people they refer to it's for sure it loud and clear that it gonna be a big threat for the environment, including the biodiversity and also the livelihood. But above all of this, plastic issue is the social issue, and it's kind of fudge and very bad for all the sector. For instance, plastic accumulation of the plastic waste very harm to our health, just like Mr. David said. In Cambodia, especially in the rural area, where there is no other feasible option to waste for the waste disposal, so the people and just burn the plastic. So and this is very bad for our health because it's releasing the toxins. And it has the concern, just like Mr. David said. Yeah. So and also not just for our health, but also economic issue as well. Accumulation of the waste poses risk to the tourism. So we know that tourism is the fastest growing for economic in Cambodia. So if the tourists decrease, so our economic will be decreased as well.
Okay, I see your points, but another question. So, based on your activity, awareness raising activity, training, so on and so forth. So, how do you see the current level of understanding of plastic amongst general public, and especially younger people?
To be honest, for the young people, I feel like they understand more about the harm of the plastic more than adults, and people is selfish. People are selfish because if the problem is not affect to them, they will never care. And there is no point in telling people that you should stop using plastic while they have they cannot afford it or they cannot have they don't have the incentive. For me, I think we have to mainstreaming the concepts for the young, for the kids, that okay, plastic is very dangerous, it's very harmful for environment, for the all sector. But at the same time, we cannot ignore an adult, because adult is the one who make decision. The adult is the one who work with us right now. For the long run, yes, kid is important. But for now, I introduce that it's quite hard to change the perception or behavior of the people. So from my experience, changing people's behavior is something that it takes much time. If we are lucky enough, maybe just a few years. But if we're not lucky, 10 years, 100 years, so it's quite hard. From my experience, I have been conducting many training at the rural area to the kids, to the adult. You know what? When I educated them, oh, plastic is very bad. It's harm to your health and it's bad for environment. Blah blah blah. They quite surprised and they I will stop. I will reuse plastic. Blah blah blah. But after that, like 3 months later, I visit them again. I feel like just I could see only a little bit change of their behavior. So I step back and ask myself, why? What's the problem? How can I do this? So, however, I'm lucky because I got the answer. After I conducted a research plastic, I asked one person which she lived near the coastal line and at that place there is a foreigner who operated the business, and I asked her, your house looks so clean. It seems like you understand about the environment. You know the harmful of the plastic. And then she said, yes, because you know the foreigner at my house, he cleans every day, and he also telling me not to burn the plastics. So I feel like, wow, it's educated from one. I mean, from one to if we can inspire people, it can be the effective way for behavior changing.
You raised 2 points, if I'm not mistaken, a long term and a short term. Maybe we focus a long term solution a little bit more after this, but I just want to focus on short term. Maybe the rabbit will have something to share. What is the short term solution in response to plastic use in this country?
For me, as she mentioned above at the moment, I think that we have to change ourselves first, right? To show that we can do it. And so I use menthol bottle to fill up my coffee, and I have a bamboo straw. Yeah, this is what I have, and this is what I use, and we can reusable. It is reusable, so it saves a lot. It is save a lot. So I suggest you guys can try this, and you will more. It will have it's more comfortable than the plastic one. After I know that plastic impacts our health or my health, I'm going to change all of my stuff related to what I drink into my body. Yeah, this is the way I'm going to change my people. Yeah.
My follow-up question. Sometimes we might forget, like I have my personal, like you bottle or something like that. But some people might forget it at home, so they still have to use plastic bottle again after that. So what kind of way, what kind of tip you would share? How to remind yourself you need to keep using it, bring it along with you to anywhere as much as possible.
Yeah, actually, in the coffee shop, they have a glasses that made from glass. Yes. So sometimes I forgot it too. Yeah. Because sometimes we have to wake up early and rush to everything that, we forgot a lot. But when you are going to Always or going to buy a coffee, you alert yourself that, oh, that's my fault. This is alert us that my fault that forget that. So this is very important that the information is transferred into our brain that this is the fault. So we will never forget it again. So this point can remind all the people who trying to use or reduce plastic. Yes.
So personal behavior, the contribution from all of us might have. So let's move to the long-term solution. We talk about education. And we talk about students at school because I personally believe that younger people are more committed to reusing plastic bags use comparing to the older one, because we can blame them because they get used to using it. But how important it is by introducing plastic education or plastic awareness raising at school, I would say in general. To Sotheavann first.
Well, as I said earlier, that in education, before I jump to the answer, I want to open up that education, the word education, there are many kinds of educations like formal educations, informal educations, and non-education. So what is informal formal education? It's just like we learn from school, from the college, university is formal education. And informal education is like something that I raised that we inspire people, we try to change the people idea, and something that we give the idea, the concept to the people is called informal education, like training as well. And non-formal is just like the short course, like swimming class. Yeah. So it's important for kids to because they are the future of our country. For the long run, we need to build them to understand and to have the proper behavior towards the plastics. But we need a lot of effort as well from both government and private sectors to support this. Just for only school, I think it's important, absolutely important. But still, right now, plastic knows time to waste. We have to act. So we have both sector and no one solution that can fit all. So we need the kid commitment. We need and changing the behavior of the adult. We need the supporting from the private sector, and also we need the support legislation from the government. And it is encouraging and also that our government is prioritizing the plastic issue, because recently in 2000, not so recently, but in 2015, there is a sub-degree on the management of garbage and waste and solid waste downtown, and also in 2017 there is the sub-degree on the management of plastic bags. So it's a good sign that we are now in the right track together. So hopefully the plastic behavior and the plastic pollution will be decreased in our country.
Okay. David, you might have some point about plastic education at school.
Okay, I love the ideas from Puchiu. He said Friday no plastic. So sometimes plastic is living with us every day. So it's very comfortable for us. So if we are trying to reuse another something like Mentos bottle. Yeah, we're trying to reuse that. But actually, for me, still use some of the plastic. So our team like our youth. Now we have 23 youth, yes, and we have a plan that reuse the plastic that we call the idea is called Friday no plastic. So if you use plastic on Friday, you will be charged 10,000 real or 12,000 real. So this is will be alert them to reduce plastic. And for education, I heard some information from Puchiu too. One of the school, it seems like Recycle, if I remember. In Recycle, the school director have a strong commitment for no plastic at school. So student or seller or people go into the school, into Recycle high school, cannot bring plastic into the school. So it is a strong commitment from a school director, and it is a great idea. But we have to teach the student why the school director do something like this or ban the plastic into the school. So the idea is we have to raise awareness of the impacts of plastics. So nowadays I saw some people who are students. They are learning related to the environment, to the plastic. They focus just the academic, just focus on the score, on trying to find a small business or specific area to work. This is how they learn from school. So this is if we can put something related to the environment nowadays into the school or into the university, it will be better. But make sure that they understand it well. Yes, it is the most important. So there are so many ways that can show them that it's really impact to our health. And if without health, we cannot do anything. We cannot create a business, build a business, or working at a specific area and work well, work like what we say in English, like more effectively in your workplace, creative. And yes, this is very important. So I support the ideas ban the plastic to school.
Yeah, because I talked to the expert and we agree that complete bans on plastics, I mean, nationwide might not work and it will cost us economically, but starting from classroom, starting from school might be a good initiative because they're young, so they could learn. Okay.
Learn from the young age.
Yeah. We all agree that the long-term solution may be to reduce the amount of plastic production and try to invest more in alternative things to plastic, so we can have reduced the reliance of plastic use in our society. So how do you see the current effort in order to invest or in order to support the alternative material things like straw or bag, something like that?
Some of the supermarket nowadays, they're asking us, do you need plastic bag, right? Like Aeon, like some of the mart in Phnom Penh, they will ask us, do you want to buy plastic bag? So this is some kinds of reduction of plastic. And now there's a lot of reusable stuff like paper bag, straw that make from bamboo, make from iron, and now the idea from Europe, I heard that they use the skin shrimp or shell to make a straw. Yeah, so it's not affect to our health too, and it really reduce the plastics. This is the way that people can use it instead of plastic. So if in Cambodia have a factory or some business related to this, I think it's really better. Yeah, thank you.
Sotheavann, do you have something to add? Maybe what is your suggestion to the private or the public sector in order to encourage more production of alternative things to plastic?
Plastic issue is the social issue and it needs to be taken for everyone, not just for the kid, for any group. So private sector is the key player as well. And in order to do so, I would suggest, I have two words for the private sector. Build pride. I know that you are the private sector is trying to raise their income, they are growing, but at the same time, please try to build your pride by thinking about environment and also thinking about human being. And for the customer as well, you should, before you did something, you get a plastic, you should ask yourself, do I really need it? Is it okay if I just reject and not get the plastic? So it's important for a single-use plastic bag. So my idea it starts from everyone. Alternative is important. It's for the private sector, for the government support things, but also still from us, from me, from you, and from everyone.
I think as we are running out of time, I think I want to hear a little bit more from, maybe you have like half a minute each to share your last word to help them change their mindset or to change their behavior, encourage them. From Dara first.
For me, if you are humans should be educated about plastic pollution. If you understand about the pollution of that plastic, you have to share to other people to protect, to save, to help other people to survive. So I hope the government and our people join together to create a program that we can reuse plastic together. So I hope it's going to happen one day. So I'm happy to join this program. Thank you.
Optimistic about the future. So Sotheavann, your last word, maybe something in addition to what you speak.
Education is not a hook, it's not a bridge that bring you to get a high salary, driving a very fancy car, living in a very luxury home. But education is something that you contribute to your social, that you make other people inspire, follow you. It's called education. And plastic pollution crisis is the issue that we have to be tackled, and no time to waste now. So everyone, let's get educated by do our best for our society, reduce plastic. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks our speaker for raising a very interesting point, especially your tip to encourage and inspire people to follow and how we reuse plastic bags. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for following us. Now we come to the end part of our program, and I hope that you enjoyed the discussion, especially the insightful suggestion and idea from our two speakers on plastic education, especially how we can join together to reduce plastic use in our country for the society, for the environment, for the younger generation. And thank you so much for following us. If you have any question, you can follow our Facebook page, ThmeyThmey.com. Thank you again, and thank you our two speakers. Thank you.
Welcome to Cam ASEAN. This is a wonderful school for you to master your business English skills as well as your professional skills. Cam ASEAN has well-appointed classrooms, also a student lounge and a language lab. The language lab is wonderful for them to improve by themselves their English abilities. We have a wonderful conference hall where we host many activities.
I am Sunny. I studied Business English and Skills at Cam ASEAN, and I'm ready for the ASEAN integration. So why wait? Come and join us now.
ចង់សិក្សាភាសាអង់គ្លេសនិងជំនាញសិក្សានៅ Cam ASEAN